Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to do a special video. I'm celebrating my 100 subscribers. So I wanted to thank you all by doing a simple but delicious dessert. We're going to make flans today. And if you don't know what a flan means, it just is a caramel custard dessert. Okay, so here's the few ingredients you're going to need for this. You're going to need a few ramekins or some glass bowls that can go in the oven at a high temperature. You're also going to need a deep dish. I just bought this foil one that I can toss out afterwards because we're going to be putting this in water as well when we're baking it. And you're going to need 1 cup of sugar. You're going to need 4 room temperature eggs. You're going to need 1 teaspoon of vanilla. You're going to need a 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk. And you're going to need a 12-ounce can of evaporated milk. I also have a couple of other things that I need on the side here. As far as just bowls and whisks and whatnot. And that's it, guys. That's all you're going to need to make this delicious flan. Alright, so first we're going to start with the caramel. We're going to go ahead and put our stove on almost high, like between high and medium high. And to this pan, we're going to put 1 cup of sugar. Mix that around just to get it flat in the pan. And we're going to let this start heating up. And what you're going to start seeing is you're going to start seeing the sugar crystallize around the sides and start warming up. We need to stay where we're at. Watch the pan really well because we do not want to overcook the sugar, like boil it or burn it. We want it to be a nice amber color. So we're going to let this start heating up and we'll be back. Alright guys, it's starting to look great. Now once this starts getting almost done, we're going to go ahead and turn the stove off. I've lowered my temperature just a little bit, so watch yours. And then we're going to go ahead and put it in our ramekins. It's looking good. Just keep on stirring it. Making sure nothing sticks and burns. And that's the color you want, guys. So this is going to have maybe another 30 to 40 seconds, and we're going to go ahead and turn the stove off and let it just continue to melt on the residual heat. All right, that looks great. What I'm going to do now is turn my stove off and let it just sit here, and I'll just keep on stirring it. Lift it up a little bit from your surface, and it's going to continue to cook. Obviously, the pan is still hot. And that looks great, guys. Let's go ahead and put it in the ramekins. Just lightly grease them with a little bit of spray tan. We're going to go ahead and pour really quick so it doesn't harden the sugar. And these are actually really big. I only need 2. And depending on what you're using will depend on how much you're going to get. See how that hardens really quick like that? Now, if it does do that, you can just put it on the heat again and just melt it for another second or 2. All right, that looks good. We're going to go ahead and just give this a little stir just to make sure it's all coated. All right, great. Now, while these are cooling and setting, we're going to go ahead and start on the custard. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and make our custard. To this bowl, I'm going to beat in 4 eggs. And remember, they're at room temperature. Try not to get any shells in there. Nobody wants shells in their flan, like I just did. You're going to go ahead and mix that really well. Try not to make too much noise here. Not bad. And then to the beaten eggs, we're going to go ahead and put the delicious sweetened condensed milk in. So you guys can see it. This stuff is so good. If you've never tried some, just go ahead and Take your little taste. It's really, really good. Very sweet though. You want all that out, so it's not waste. And then your 1 can of evaporated milk. And then of course your 1 teaspoon of vanilla. You could put a little more in it if you like the, you know, strong vanilla taste. But 1 teaspoon is usually good. Mix that really, really good. That looks great. And then what we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna sift this. I mean, you don't have to. I think you should, just to make sure that there's no shells, number 1, or any kind of clumps or pieces of egg that we didn't mix well enough. So you can skip this step, but I wouldn't. So we're gonna go ahead and sift that. It only takes a second. Looks great. And see? Makes it nice and smooth. Now what we're gonna do is fill up our ramekins, and these set very nicely. And all you're gonna do is fill them up generously. And you can fill them up almost to the top. It's not gonna rise or anything like that. And this is, they're obviously bigger than normal, but this will definitely be like a little flan, and you could probably feed 2 people easily with these ramekin sizes. And that's it, guys. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna fill this pan up halfway with some very, very hot water. So before we put the hot water in here, we're gonna go ahead and preheat our oven to 350 degrees. These are gonna cook probably about 45 minutes to an hour. You want to keep an eye on it though. And what we're looking for is it's a little jiggly, but it's set on top. And I'll show you what that looks like when we're done. All right, guys, so my oven is preheating to 350 degrees. And again, to this pot, you're gonna fill it up halfway up your ramekin or glass bowl with some very hot water before putting it in the oven. And now we're going to go ahead and put it in the 350 degree oven, again, for about 45 minutes to an hour. And like I said, just keep an eye on it. Okay, guys, so mine cooked for exactly 1 hour. And I'm taking it out of the oven now. And this is exactly what it needs to look like. See how it's a little jiggly? That's hot. See how it's a little jiggly in the middle? But it's set. That's exactly what you want. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the ramekins out of the water, and we're gonna leave it on the counter or somewhere just to cool down a little bit before we put them into the refrigerator. Now they need to be cooled completely before we tip it over and put it on a nice dish. All right, guys, so my flans have been cooled off completely, and we're gonna go ahead and put it on the plate, and I'm gonna show you how to do it some bougie way. So you're gonna take a butter knife. You're just gonna go around the sides. It should have separated from the side, but if it didn't, just go ahead and just slide it around just to make sure nothing's sticking before we flip it. And you're gonna take the plate, you're gonna put it on top, and you're gonna carefully, probably shouldn't have got such a big plate, flip it. And it should come right off. Voila, guys. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I just wanted to say thank you again to my 100 subscribers, and I hope you guys enjoy this.